trouble is, when these sort of stories come out, it's very easy, if you're a clever journalist, to find out exactly what goes on behind the scenes. And this is why I like to share it with you, because truthfully, if I was to pitch this story to the channels that I work for, they would want it signed down in affidavit form, and of course people can't do that. That's the problem. People come to you with these wonderful bits of information. And this particular story that was put out by a Sunday tabloid newspaper, they're crowing about, but they are part of the problem as well. As ever, let me explain. Morning, nice to see you, chums. Thank you so much for joining me today. Lovely to have your company. Hope you're keeping well. You are? I'm not so bad, thank you. Still very warm here, very humid, but we're glad to be in summer, as many of you know. And by the way, thank you for your lovely comments regarding some of the backgrounds that I film in. I know the cricket match is just divine, isn't it? I just love standing there, because the noises, everything, you just think, oh, it's a calming effect, And I have to say, that cricket pavilion, yes, you can get a lot for £3.50, a couple of lollies, a tonic water and some scampi bites. Not bad. The thing is, with the London prices, you're like, how much? And do you think, have they added it up wrong? This is the thing, the difference between sometimes north and south. Not everything though. It's a little bit like this, the difference between truth and fake. Now, as we all know, this particular, oh, we haven't had a wave, have we? Sorry, nice to see you. This particular story, right, as we know, came out in the Sunday tabloids and all that sort of stuff. But what's interesting is, this is at the Royal League Club, just literally around about Green Park area. Now, where people are speculating, and Harry and Meghan are very upset that this particular story got leaked out. Yes, two things to notice, right, which is very simple if you do this job. When you look at the picture, very, very cleverly, the credit for the picture has been removed. Basically, they just have the exclusive banner for that newspaper. The reason why this has been removed is because they don't want you to track down that particular photographer. So they will have paid him a flat out fee to capture this. Now, what I can tell you is this was taken last Wednesday, right? So prior to that, 4 days in advance, somebody went along to the club to secure that outside spot because allegedly, they wanted to have a meeting, but out in the open air. We know, and I know, who secured that spot, right? So this was all set up. Whatever they want to suggest, everything was set up. Now, what I would say is, in defence of the King's communications team, they would probably have just gone along with this with an open mind, right? They're not as indoctored in this as you may think. The tabloid newspaper are, and the other two, Meghan and Harry, are. Now, the deal really was to make sure that there was some documentation to prove, as I said to you the other day, that Harry wants to talk about releasing funds from certain investments and private things that he's got going off. Now, this is a twofold story, you see, because this then alerts His Majesty the King to the fact that his youngest son and his wife, Meghan Markle, may require substantial or extra funding. And as I said to you before, the story behind that is truly this. You see, once that alerts them and says, we need money, well, what will they do for money if they can't get money? You know what I'm saying? So consequently, this goes back of what could we get access to, what couldn't we, and all that sort of stuff. Now, what's interesting, what I find is that the clarity of the picture, everybody knows who works in this job, knows 100% that that was a set-up shot literally across to the other side, right? There was a balcony on the other side, and that's exactly where that shot was taken from. You could never have done that without prior advance checking, agreements, times, even the arrival of the cab. Everything is fake news. But it's fake news for the simple reason that they want you and I to think that this is going to be this great building block of, getting back together again. Where we're at right now is, of course, that Meghan and Harry are delighted because, as I said, they heaped a lot of upsetness and nastiness onto William and Catherine, which should have been a wonderful family day out at Wimbledon, wiping Catherine's big sort of picture splash on all the main events on those Sunday morning newspapers. Harry and Meghan don't change. They are part of the problem. But of course, they're part also of His Majesty the King's problem. And the bigger problem is, without money, what would they do next? If I was King Charles, I might just think, sling it. You've done as much as you can do now. Keep going, because quite frankly, we all know that Meghan is a liar. Now, her PR woman, Meredith Maines, well, her job now is very precarious, whatever people say, and again, I have to say allegedly. But more about that as it unfolds. Neil Sean, Kensington, London.